Hey, good afternoon. Yesterday, I was listening to the Six Figure Morning show from Robert Edison, and he said something on there that really stuck with me. And he has so many quotable lines that I don't even know if this was intentional or if he was just flowing. But he said, there are winners, losers, triers, doers. And that stuck with me. Winners, losers, triers, doers. So true. Those who do win. Those who try fail. That has been the running motif of my life. When I try something, I fail. When I plan to do it, I win. I got my CDL when I was 21 years old, and it was hard. I had to get up at 7 in the morning because I had to be at school by 8 a.m. That wasn't the hard part. I had an hour drive to the school, so I would get up, get dressed, go into school. I would be in school from 8 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that took up the majority of my day. But I also had bills that I had to cover. So I would work from 6 to midnight. And so for 3 or 4 months, that's what I was doing. I would get up at, 7, 6:30, 7 in the morning, get ready, get dressed, head in, get the work done for school. Then I would get off and I would go home, have time to take a shower, change, get to work, and I'd work from 6 p.m. to midnight. But the reason I was willing to do all of that, the reason I was willing to put in that amount of effort was because I saw a goal and I wanted to chase after it. I believed in that much. What is it going to take for you to believe that much in your goal that you go from trying to doing? If you don't believe in losing weight and you're going to just try to lose weight this year, you're not going to do it. You have to actually lose weight this year. You have to set the goal. Hey, at January 1st, 2026, I will be X weight. By January 2026, I will have X amount of dollars in a savings account. By January 2026, my business will be making X amount of money. That's the mindset that you have to go from being a trier to a doer. If you're just trying, you're going to lose. I forget who said this, but when you think about the risk of life, somebody said that life is so risky, I can guarantee you're going to die. That hit me. Like, oh, that's good. Being alive is risky in and of itself. So you have to at least do something, right? But if you're going to go down this path, I want to give you some of the keys to success. Now, I recently saved $10,000 and I set the goal for myself to accomplish that by the end of 2024. I did it well in advance of the end of 2024. And there are some key things that you're going to have to do if you're going to do something like that. Saving $10,000 isn't as simple or as easy as a lot of people would try to make it seem. And maybe some people don't even make it sound that easy because it's not. You're going to have to be dedicated. You're going to have to be committed. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to sell. You're going to have to work harder, come up with some more hours, pick up some extra shifts. Because if you're making what the average person makes, a lot of your income is already tied up in obligations. You got rent, you got electricity, you got water, you have Wi-Fi, you have your phone, you've got all of the basic necessities of life, food, car insurance, health insurance. All of that stuff is probably taking up the majority of your income. And so if that's the case for you, you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to be willing to do more. Those who do win. And so I'm telling you this because if you went into this year thinking that you can just skate by, it's not going to happen for you. If you entered into this year thinking, hey, man, I'm going to try to lose weight this year, you're already off to the wrong foot. No, this year we're not trying to do things. We are doing them. Doers win. Triers lose. So I don't want you to get confused with this journey that you're going down. You have to make that commitment. The commitment that you're making is the commitment to do it. Then after you make the commitment, you need to come up with a strategy. You can't just be wandering around aimlessly. You need to know what that endpoint is. You need to know what the target you're shooting for. And you need to come up with what are the steps you're going to take to make it there. I actually had a coworker who came to me multiple times asking me about what it took to get his Class A CDL license. And I shared it with him. I would show him the website. I would show him what he would have to do to sign up, how to apply for it. I showed him all the different sorts of grants that were available to him, all of that. And these are the things that I had to do when I went and got my own CDL. And did he ever do it? No. Why? Because he didn't have the playbook. Well, I mean, I gave him the playbook, but he just had the strategy. And he wasn't willing to execute on it. That's why if you're going to have the strategy, maybe you've come up with it. Maybe you're consuming content like this. Maybe you listen to other YouTubers. Maybe you're reading books. Maybe you're listening to podcasts. You're strategizing. That is laying the foundations of strategy. That's what I was trying to hand him. But you know what he never did? He never actually capitalized on it. That's where consistency comes in. But you can't just have one or the other. So many people have one or the other. He had strategy. That's what I handed him. Other people have consistency. There are people that are plenty consistent that are never going to win. Why? Because consistency isn't enough. That will get you to a certain level, but to get to that next level, you need more than consistency. You need to marry that with strategy. Those who are consistent, you see them in the gym every day, but their gains never go anywhere. Why? Because they're not being strategic. They're not tracking their calories as well as they could be. They're not tracking their weights, the reps. You're not going to become Arnold Schwarzenegger if you're not counting your calories, if you're not tracking your macros, if you're not watching your water intake, your sleep. You're not going to become Kobe. You're not going to become LeBron. You're not going to become Tom Brady. Do you think that those guys were just consistent? Yeah. Do you think those guys had strategy? Yeah. They had to put the two together. But not only do you have to have the dedication, that's when you make the commitment. Not only do you have to have the strategy and the consistency, you need to set a time frame on that. How long are you going to do this? How long have you been saying that, hey, I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to get in shape. I'm gonna. That's all I'm hearing is try. Those who try fail. Those who try lose. You have to set not only the plan, the strategy, and the commitment, you have to also set the goal. Because that's how you can reverse engineer. So you know what the time frame is looking like. So for me, I didn't even have to try that hard. I said, hey, I am going to save this amount of money by the end of the year. From that moment, that was my goal date. I didn't just make the commitment to saving money. I said, I'm going to make it and save it by this point. And that allowed me to reverse engineer from there. So now I have my strategy. Now I can be consistent. But you have to set that hard stop. Otherwise, you don't know if you're succeeding or failing. What's your metric? What are you measuring it against? Do you have anything? Did you know that those who step on a scale every single day and look at their weight, in general, are healthier and lose more weight and stay at a healthier weight than those who never step on a scale? Same things with your bank account. If you check your bank account every single day, you're more likely to save money than those who don't check their bank account. Why? Because you need to constantly be checking in. You have to constantly be seeing where you're at. And so you'll never know where you're at if you haven't set that end goal. Where does it stop? So if you're trying to buy a house, say, I'm giving myself until 2026 to buy a home. I'm going to give myself until 2026 to pay off the debt. I'm going to give myself until 2026 to get into the best shape of my life, to start the business. Give yourself the time frame. Have the parameters. You're always going to make a strike if you bowl with the bumper guards. That is your goals. Have them. Now, I say all this, but I want to make sure that you can celebrate your victories, because that's something that I struggled with when I actually achieved them, because I didn't even recognize that I saw it. It was there physically on paper, but I was so stuck in a certain mindset. I was always on grind that I didn't know how to celebrate. So be willing to celebrate your victories, but don't go overboard. Keep it practical, keep it reasonable. The bigger the victory, the bigger the celebration. But don't act like you made $1 million deal when you only saved $1,000. That doesn't mean you get to go down to the steakhouse and, F off for a couple weeks. You can't do that. No. You have to be able to celebrate within reason. Play within your price range. Hopefully this information was beneficial to you. It's the type of conversation that I wish somebody would have had with me when I started out. And I just want to share this kind of stuff with you. A lot of the education on this channel is financially motivated and geared. So if you find that kind of stuff interesting, please go check out some of my other videos. And if you are struggling to get to that next level and you want something that's a lot more personalized, information that is a lot more dedicated to the situation that you're in, you can go down in the description underneath this video and schedule a one-on-one coaching call with me where I will sit down with you and go over this. Because I want you to be able to wake up January 1st, 2026, proud of yourself. And I want you to know that at the end of the day, you did everything that you promised that you were going to do at the beginning of the day. So hopefully this was helpful to you. And as always, thanks for watching.